Hey friend, Roger Christopherson here again with another first listen review. I'm hopefully going to do a whole lot of babbling and a whole lot less of hacking and coughing and sneezing because sick as a dog today, but there were some cool albums came out this week and I just got done listening to a couple of them and really wanted to babble about them, so I'm going to see if I can get through this without hacking and coughing. But the first one I'm going to babble about here is Bryan Adams. New album called Roll the Punches. I've enjoyed Bryan Adams' music since Cuts Like a Knife, I believe, is the first thing I ever heard from him. He had one album before that, if I'm not mistaken, only one, and he did some stuff earlier before that. He started when he was really young, like 16, 17 years old. I think it was with Sweeney Todd. I went back and got all that stuff after I heard Bryan. It was a little bit tougher to get back in the day, but nowadays you can pretty much find that stuff anywhere. And I've played a lot of Bryan Adams songs and bands I've been in throughout the years, including Everything I Do It For You. I'm more a fan of the rockers, not the ballads. I like his ballads, but I'm more a fan of the rockers, the more upbeat stuff. And this album has that in there. And the first thing I noticed about this album is how short it was. It's only like 35 minutes long, which I point out because I think he was one of the very first artists who maxed out what the length of CDs could hold, like back when Waking Up the Neighbors came out. That album was pretty much almost 80 minutes long. I just remember listening to that album when it first came out thinking, holy crap, this thing goes on and on forever. I like music. I like all the extra music. I used to love that. Nowadays, the 45, 50-minute album is perfect for me. It doesn't burn me out. This one seems a little short. I know a lot of bands are doing this too. I don't know if it has to do with the resurgence of vinyl, and vinyl can only fit so much, and it sounds better the less amount of tracks you actually have on vinyl. I don't know if it has anything to do with that or not. I'm just kind of like interjecting and speculating here, but who knows. But anyway, this album kicks in with just a couple rockers just straight out of the gate. And then I noticed one thing. This is more like a back to basics type sound. It's a little more empty feeling, and that's not a bad thing. It's just maybe just going back to his roots where they didn't have like super overproduced stuff. It was like In the Heat of the Night. I think he kind of like did the same thing there, if I'm not mistaken. But he's still got a little bit of the Lang tricks in there, which of course, why not? Lang's a great producer and might as well keep that stuff. And I like when artists keep stuff that you're familiar with, but also try new things. And which leads me to my next point here, which is, the first three songs pretty much what you expect to hear from a Bryan Adams album. Just straight ahead rockers, cool, catchy, just what you'd want from a Bryan Adams, what I'd want anyway. But then it gets a song a little more understanding, which is a little bit more bluesy feeling, got a little bit more grittier feel to it. I don't know how else to explain that one, just a little bit more left to center than anything I've heard him do. And I think it's a good song. Cool, catchy little lyric and everything in there, and cool little song. And then after that, it starts getting to what I was mentioning before, the ballads. I mean, it's his bread and butter. This is where he really became huge. I mean, he was a big artist before. Everything I Do It For You. But for some reason, when that song came out, this song was huge, and he did a lot of ballads after that that became huge as well. And so you're going to expect to hear them on here, and they're not bad. I'm not busting on them, but you're going to get a few. And this is kind of where the album starts to slow down a little bit. And we get Life Is Beautiful, which is a good song. Although I will say that the ballads on here, I listened a couple times through. I don't know if there's going to be anything on here that's, at least in my opinion, everything's just opinion. Just remember, I don't know if there's anything that's going to be, as far as the ballads go, that's going to be quite as big as, the stuff that he's done in the past. I don't know. But anyway, it was a cool little thing. And there's a little bit harmonica in here too, which was a little different. So, I mean, even though he's doing that, it has a little bit more to do with like, healing powers of home and stuff like that. I don't know if it had to do with, I almost got a feeling it had to do something with like soldiers and stuff like that. I don't know. I'd have to go back and listen to that one a little bit more. And of course, there's a couple more rockers like in How's That Working For You, which it was pretty good. Two Arms Hold You, another ballad going on here, and then Be the Reason, which is kind of an upbeat thing, more of a pop song, and then ends with another ballad, Will We Ever Be Friends Again? So definitely has its share of more lightweight stuff on here. And for an album that's this short, I was hoping to hear a couple more rockers thrown in there, just something more upbeat and uplifting, but there's nothing bad on here. I enjoyed listening to it. The only thing that I thought it could use was a little bit more, like I just said, upbeat stuff. The flow of the album starts out great, upbeat, moving. You get a little bit of a twist, then it slows down, and then it really never, gets back up to speed again. There's all the back half of the album has got, all the slower songs on it, and there's a few, probably more than it needed to be on an album. I'm just saying, when you got a group of songs thrown together, and and you got that many slower songs on it, it's kind of like the energy level drops, and you can throw one or two upbeat ones in there, but you go right back to a slower one again. It's like this. It's a weird momentum. I don't know how to explain it, but that's my own little pet peeve of it. But as I said, they're all good songs. I just would have preferred a couple more upbeat ones there, but nothing bad. I feel like I'm complaining, but I don't know. As always, I welcome any comments. You may completely disagree with what I'm saying about the slower ones there, and you may just absolutely love them. You might be one of the people that loves them. That's what music's all about. We all have different ways of enjoying it, and so feel free to comment what you think about it. Got any cool Bryan Adams stories? As always, share them. I've gotten a couple of his bootleg concerts. I keep popping up every now and then. I've just got done listening to Live at Wembley here a couple days ago before this came out. I don't know why, I just felt in the mood for it, but that was a cool concert. And in that one, it's kind of weird because he does throw a lot of the slower ones all grouped together and then goes back to the upbeat, instead of bringing the momentum of the concert up and down, kind of comes in, hits you, brings things down a little bit, and then comes back and hits you again. So maybe that's what he should have done on the album, or just throw in a couple more songs. I don't know, I gotta keep saying that. But anyway, until he does something again, this is what we got to enjoy. So be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Keep his music alive, because I'm sure he's got a lot more in him. I'm sure we'll hear some more albums from Bryan Adams. He's been redoing a bunch of his stuff and releasing it on his own website. So if you're into the old classics, I don't know if it's one of these deals where he's one of these artists that the record label held on to the rights, and that's why he's re-recording them. Taylor Swift, is most famous for doing that. Def Leppard did a few where they had to re-record them. There's one other band that just did the same thing. Oh, John Fogerty, duh. Finally got the rights back to songs, went back and re-recorded them. So I don't know if that's what Bryan was doing. I didn't really look into that. It just kind of popped in my head just now. But check out his website. He's got a bunch of cool stuff on there. That Pretty Woman soundtrack, I think he's got on there too, which is actually an interesting album. So anyway, like, share, and subscribe to keep the music alive, like I said. And until next time, we will see you.